fans, type 2 diabetes rescued by keto fans, super curve honing fans. Welcome. Bill here. Going to do a shave today. This is kind of a follow-up to a shave that was kind of enlightening to me last week, where I shaved with a piece I hadn't shaved with in a while. I don't know what, well, I do know why. When I was when I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, the amount of time I dedicated to my shaving hobby was restricted because I wanted to try and learn how to manage my diabetes without medication. Tomorrow is it was supposed to be last week, but tomorrow is my follow-up visit with my doctor, and I'm sure he'll, I got one thing on the docket is a pre-op for the 10-year butt periscope procedure I got coming up in January. And the other will be a follow-up on my type 2 diabetes. I expect the blood work to show that my A1C levels 7 months after I changed my eating pattern to a ketogenic type diet will be in the normal range again. So it is a life change for me. And I'm on another life change. I usually drink about 4 of these of coffee every day. And I had noticed starting into my dietary change, my total goal was to control my blood sugar. I did not, having some weight loss was a side effect of that, a pleasant side effect, but it was nonetheless a side effect. And I'm off almost 40 pounds. It depends on what day you do it, because I've been off 40 pounds and then I've been back, and I've been kind of plateaued for a while. And then I did some further research this week based on my height, my weight, and I did not, my caloric intake, I did not restrict it. I did not want to count that. I wanted to just limit the things that produced high blood sugars, and I've done that. But you lose 40 pounds and you're carrying around it's like, carrying around a couple of buckets of water less everywhere you go all day long. The amount of energy that your body needs to go through the day is less. So I need to do some change. And the one change, I looked at some numbers and did some things. And one change that I'm going to make, I'm in the process of trying to make, I drink 4 of these, and I would put a tablespoon of heavy cream in every single one of these because I like coffee with a creamer. So I'm trying to move. I can't yet get away from coffee without some sort of a sweetener in there. So I do put an erythritol-based sweetener in there. But I am moving to get away from the volume of heavy cream. That one thing alone probably should bump me back into a weight loss mode. And let's see what happens. Okay, so the shave today, I'm using Piacenza by Sterling. I'm using the Emperor #2 Super Badger. This was my first Badger brush. I didn't want to spend $300 for a real expensive Super Badger brush until I wanted to see, is it really worth all that over a brush that you could get for sub $50, okay? Maybe even down to $10. Okay, did it, and the answer is no. For me, the answer is no. It doesn't really matter that much. It doesn't change that much in terms of the end result that you get, okay? It does have some sort of a change in what you're doing along with your shave. And what I did this week, with the shave was I've been shaving more and more frequently in the evenings after work. Come home and do some stuff, and perhaps eat my final meal of the day, and then take the time and spend a little bit of time and do a shave. And one of the things I did different, I usually am one who bowl lathers. And I didn't do that because I was using like one of these little tubs. Okay. And a big giant brush I couldn't fit in there. So, I used the brush, and then I just kind of, and taking the time to really, really enjoy the shave and the experience of it was something that had kind of gone missing for the last 6 months, because I've been focusing on my health issues. And it was an enlightening thing for me to come back to that and to really, really begin to focus on what I am doing and my techniques, and begin to enjoy it. I'm often reminded of the enjoyment that comes from shaving with a straight razor by Long Haul Tanker. He loves his stuff, and he loves what he does. And I had been distracted from that. So this shave this week kind of moved me back to that. Now, if you saw the picture in the beginning, there's two razors, and I'm going to kind of do a showdown. Before I bought, let's see, which one is this shoe side? Okay, before I bought this one, this is a Thiers Issard 7/8 oak wing. Okay, it has the little oak wing stamp. Let's see if I can get that. I'm not sure if I can get that, the oak leaf in there. And there's engraving on the spine that has the Ligero engraving on there. And this was my first 7/8 razor. I don't know why I didn't buy one sooner. I got four of them now. 3 of them are on this pretty much same Thiers Issard blank with different points on them. I enjoy this. This particular one was probably the first razor that I had ordered and requested that this razor be honed on what I have termed super curve honing, which is where you're using more than one curvature of a stone to create a hollowed out bevel, okay, and get clearance to the edge. And I don't know exactly, I basically just said just do your thing. Okay, so I don't know exactly how it was honed, but initially, and I've not re-honed this, okay, initially when I got this was it was a little bit harsh, okay? Very capable, very, very capable, very, very harsh. And I noticed, like I do on a lot of tools, that after using the tool and stropping and going along, they mellow. And this very, very quickly became a super top performer for me. And I, did not want to readdress the edge because I wanted to enjoy it as it was. And in my shave this week, I was kind of thinking a lot of that and experiencing that. And then I was on this move right here, where I was specifically trying to put a little bit of extra focus on my angle, my pressure, how fast I was moving. We at the Shaving Cadre have been graced by the presence of not one, but two actual master barbers, one in UK, Gary Haywood, and the other one of the owners of, and my commercial for the Shaving Cadre, the greatest shave forum on the face of the earth. Bill M, that's me, that Max Headroom, that's my avatar. I've been that for years. But these guys shave their customers for a living. And in times of my growth through this shaving hobby, before I actually met these gentlemen, I would watch videos of barbers shaving people, and it's I think a little different in a lot of ways if you're shaving somebody else than it is from shaving yourself. Okay, in seeing some barbers who would use a pull in front of the blade and a short, very short, light stroke with, and most of the times when I've observed that, it was always with a chevette, a replaceable blade type straight razor. And I just started thinking about what I'm doing, focusing a little bit more on what I'm doing. Now the Showdown comes in, and this is the other razor I have. This is the third one that I have on that same 5/8 Thiers Issard blank form. This one was originally honed up. I shaved with it. I think I shaved with it with a factory edge. And it would produce a shave, but it was not to my personal preference, and that's what the wet shaving hobby to me has become, the personal preference in developing one's skills and one's own personal preferences. And so I took this one to the Super Curve Hones, and I honed this. And this was initially, the initial honing was a test. I've re-honed it since then. But the initial test was somebody wanted to know how effective using Super Curve Hones were if you put a piece of tape on there, tape being designed to protect the spine so that it looks like you haven't touched it with a stone. Because some people evaluate razors based on whether there's any abrasion on the spine or not. I don't quite get why somebody who's using their straight razor, buying a straight razor, would be overly concerned about how much wear is here. I want to know how much have you taken off of the edge. I want to know how much of that original metal way out there is still there. That's what I want to know. Okay. I don't want to know, well, how much did you take off here? Anyhow, I did it. I did that test. I did that test to see. And the one thing I didn't like about tape, and that's was when I went to very close. However, the most recently non razor has seemed to perform a little bit further, and that's not the point of what I'm doing here today. The point is that in the use of straight razors, you can develop the skill with different tools to adjust and compensate for the difference in those particular tools. This being two of those. So here on first pass, I like this better. Okay, I like the result. I like the feel better. My preference. By the time I'm done, there will be no difference in the two of those, because I'm making the adjustments. I'm compensating. I'm watching what I'm doing, taking my time, enjoying the lather. So that particular tool there, I rehoned on the Super Curve because I didn't like having the tape, and how, since I finish on a progression of shaped balsa strops that I've applied an abrasive to, I didn't like how it kind of hung on there. And even though I kind of went through that initially, then I took the tape off of there, which took the razor and then tipped that razor down a little bit more. So the amount, the closeness where in the stropping procedure where I was hitting on the edge was with the different strops was not occurring, and that's where, in my style, that's where things are finished on that strop progression. So the edge was largely finalized with that tool on the last stone, which would have been the Suhiro 20K, which is shaped, and then a flat leather, rue leather strop. And while I have said that other razor I would prefer, I just don't believe that there's anybody that could ever shave with this tool. And even though I thought I got a feel that I like better on the first pass from the other tool, just sitting there doing that, this is like really, really smooth. This is and this is why we do 3-pass shaves. So just a couple of minutes ago, I was thinking, well, I'm going to go back and I'm going to rehone this on the Super Curve. Now I've done that pass. I'm not sure. I'm just going to, eventually I'll hone it. Okay. I just don't know if I'm going to do it just yet, because I have a couple, I have this one and I have the other one. And I think I did mute the point on this. I can't remember. I don't have my glasses on, but I did. Because these have stabbed me a couple times. So now I don't shave the mustache and the chin, and I could see where having this French point in the area under here would be a huge advantage, and not worrying too much about or maintaining that keenness of edge all the way to the tip could be an advantage. And if you are happening to tune in and you're somebody who has not undertaken the learning curve for open blade shaves, and you're considering to do that, there's so many variables in a razor that you hone or somebody else hones in straight razors. And that's part of the fun, figuring it out. That is part of the fun. But I have been an advocate after I took up straight shaving first with true straights, and then I evolved that into shavettes, and wished that I had done it the other way, because the acquisition of the skills in open blade shaving is a super advantage, my opinion, a super advantage to you who are in the wet shaving hobby on any tool that you use, whether it be a true straight or whether it be a double edge or a single edge, so that once you learn to shave with the open blade and you learn to begin to make the adjustments for the given tool that you are using, you have learned how to adjust your pressure, your angle, your speed, and that sort of thing. And the application of the same of those things, whereas I was focusing a little bit extra on the downstroke, which is against the grain in the most trouble area that I have, which on before I took up straights, that I had to get my that area with double edge, you could easily aggravate that by too much pressure, too steep of an angle. And with this particular piece, I'm at the point in the shave with this particular piece where I began to realize the value of this particular edge to me, and how very smooth that it was, and that initial aggression that it had been tapered off just a little bit. This one, on the other hand, is freshly honed, and on that same stroke, it has a bit more of a tendency, I could almost feel a bit more of a tendency to catch skin, even though I'm trying to hold my angle at a very low angle. And in my shave earlier in the week with the oak wing was where I found after this pass, on the follow-up final pass, was where I could do some buffing, and in the end result, just a very, very pleasurable end result. And I've heard very, 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 very close results. Any difference that I'm feeling could easily be attributed to just some minor tweak in what I was doing, and that's where doing this and learning it and going through it and making the adjustments and being on a path of let's call it continual improvement is fun. It's the fun of it. I've heard numerous people who would, I don't know why I relabed the whole thing. I was just going to do a little bit of cleanup, but now I'm doing like a fourth total pass, and I'm going to totally finish the final pass with this particular tool. This one, the oak ring. I've heard, and there are people who say this and they believe that a straight razor gives the best shave. Okay, I disagree with that. I think it is the person in the mirror who delivers the best shave based upon what skills they have learned and what skills they have applied. And you don't need this to be able to get the same end result that I'm getting, because I can get the exact same end result with numerous different other shaving instruments, okay, or shaving tools. I, however, could not until I learned, until I took up open bladed shaving. And learned some of the values that style of shaving has taught me. So, and we're almost done. I'm 30 minutes in, almost 28 minutes, something like that. So that's that does take care of it. I could do a little bit of blade buffing. I'm not. Actually, I will. I'll do a little bit of. Not blade buffing, flat blading. Barber Dave, forgive me for. This is a technique that he made famous. I don't know if you can see, you should be able to see what came off, you know, the little bit of water and soap. It is a technique that does provide a really nice finish, a nice feel. It's something that is worthwhile. For me, it is worthwhile that people give that a try. And I'm going to finish up. I didn't bring an alum block in. And I didn't bring any switch hazel in. But I am going to use my favorite aftershave balm. In the beginning, I used this every single shave. Immediately after shaving, I used it every single shave. I got away from it for a while using a bunch of other stuff. But this is definitely a good way. I consider a good way to finish. And I have my, I don't have a shave shirt on. I have my official Shaving Cadre new logo. 2000, what do we call it? The World Tour? TSC World Tour. This was our convention where we had a lot of fun. Look into the Shaving Cadre. www.theshavingcadre.com. Bunch of really great guys over there. All different walks of life, different skills, different backgrounds, different occupations that all kind of have this one crazy thing where, okay, so we kind of enjoy shaving with different tools and stuff. Piacenza, the aftershave. This actually does have some witch hazel in it. I'm such a Sterling fanboy. I really love their stuff. And that's it. I'm gonna use powder cannon that I got from when we went on the meetup. It doesn't have the broad face cannon. It has a little bit, but this is a little bit more focused in terms of how much. And you can order these online. I don't remember what powder was in it. You know, all I use is talc. I don't use cornstarch based powders. And I think all talc now that you find has to come from the UK. I don't believe in the United States there's any company in the United States after the talc health scare. I don't know that there's any of them that'll sell it, but it'll last a long time. And I'm gonna go ahead with a little bit of Sterling Piacenza EDT. Just because it makes the glorious stank last a little bit longer. So anyhow, thank you all for tuning in to my shave. I hope everybody has, and I forgot to say I can't remember if I said it or not, it's December 11th, Sunday, mid-morning here. And I'm wishing everybody a really great upcoming week. And the Shave Showdown, which razor run? It's a tie on the razors, man. The guy in the mirror is the one you want to be the winner. And in this case, the guy in the mirror and the guy in your camera is me, and that's Bill. We're out. Have a great one.